Do I look like a father of three on a family vacation to Hawaii? Yes. Is that also the style I aspire to every day of my life? Yes. Hi besties, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Y'all already know what's up. We are talking about the second half of July, the second half of the Summer Splash Readathon, all the books that I read, the challenges I did, and all the vlog footage that I filmed. Just like the first half, there are holes. So I'm here today to help patch up those holes and tell you everything that I read in the second half of the month. Did I cheat a little bit on one of them? You could say that. Just like last time, I'm just gonna go ahead, take you through the vlog footage. We'll come back here, rendezvous, in about 7 minutes, and then we'll talk about all the books. Sound good? Editing Sally, take it away. Hello, I just finished my shift at work. I have 48 hours left of the Summer Splash Readathon, and I'm still behind. So I have 4 book prompts I have to finish, and a bunch of life prompts I have to finish. And the life prompt that I'm gonna do today is play pretend. So I am going to do things today the way that Auden from Along for the Ride would do them. I just wanted to be her so badly in middle school, so this is my opportunity. So I'm gonna go get some onion rings, because she eats onion rings in the book, and then I'm also gonna get some gas station coffee. She gets coffee at the gas grow, and then I'm going to ride my bike. All right, anyway. My outfit is my Auden West outfit. She wears stripes in the book. And then we got some beachy jean jorts if you will. We've got some purple Chuck Taylors with a quote from W.H. Auden, because that's who she's named after in the book. My biking career is over. It's 11:15 and I'm on my way to get gas station coffee. I'm forcing myself to stay up past my bedtime because she's an insomniac. I'm gonna do my best. I don't hate it. Okay, so one of my besties in town is doing Summer Splash too, and we're both behind, and it's the last day, and we have to finish books by midnight. So I am bringing her Normal People because I know she can read it quickly, and she's bringing me a book with yellow on the cover that's only 80 pages called I Hate Men. And this is how deep Summer Splash runs. I'm driving across town to make sure that I can finish by midnight. Okay, let's go. Let's go get Allie. It is literally criminally hot outside. Like, it says it's 90, not the ring light, not me being an influencer. It says it's 91 degrees, but let me tell you what it says it feels like. It says it feels like 95 degrees. I beg to differ because it's humid as fuck. Federal prison for every legislator who has ever blocked environmental protection laws because this is your fault. So here we are, final day of Summer Splash. We did our live stream. It was so cute, so fun. You can still watch it if you want. It's 8 p.m. on the last day of Summer Splash, and I have 3 books to finish in 4 hours. No! I have caramel oat milk iced coffee. I'm not gonna read my silly little books without my silly little drink. That's ridiculous. I'm finishing Jane Against the World. I'm on page 257. There are 318 pages, so we're getting there. Then I have I Hate Men by Pauline Harminge. By Pauline, bestie girl. I'm intrigued. Anybody who tells me that my hatred for men is valid, I like you already. So that's gonna be so fast because it's like, it's an essay really for the Sandcastle prompt. A book with royalty that I love already very much, is a favorite, and I've been wanting to reread it. The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Yeah. Why can't I ever shut the fuck up? Have I ever considered that once in my little life? I finished Jane Against the World. I also read and finished I Hate Men in like 30 minutes tops. I'm obsessed with this. I only have 1 book left and I'm rereading A Little Prince. As I am saying this, it is 10:35. I have an hour and 25 minutes. I did it. Cleared the board. I cleared the board with 25 minutes left. That's crazy. It's over. And I got to create with so many creators that I look up to and really respect and admire. But for the first time in at least a month, I'm not setting an alarm. Get out of my face. I'm going to bed. I'm delusional. Okay, we're back. Let me fill in the gaps for you. So, the first book I read for the second half of Summer Splash, so the 8th book I read for all of Summer Splash, was Loveless by Alice Oseman. Loveless I read for the Pride space because we have ace representation. This book is so special because it features an asexual, aromantic main character. Georgia doesn't know that she's ace and aro when she goes into college at Durham University, but she's figuring it out. It tracks her queer awakening, her ace journey, and has some great found family. I do think that I was expecting a little bit more from this book as a whole. There were moments that I really, really liked, and there were characters that I really connected with. I loved Rooney so much. I really liked Georgia and I really liked Jason. But at the same time, the book and the story just felt a little bit flat for me. For me, the stakes just weren't super high, and there was, I don't know, there was just something missing for me, and I can't pinpoint what it was, but I did appreciate the ace representation. To me, there was a lot in here that was just a little too tropey, or I felt like I had read it before. That's usually not how I feel when I read Alice Oseman, so I was a little surprised, but I totally get why people love it, and I do think it's very important representation. After Loveless, I read Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. I have already loaned it out to a friend because I am going to force everybody that I know and love to read this book because, oh my God, it was so beautiful, poignant, magical, just
talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before.
Braiding Sweetgrass I read for Spice It Up because our author is Indigenous, so she is a woman of color. You've probably heard of Braiding Sweetgrass. I feel like it's really well loved on BookTube. It is a collection of essays by Robin Wall Kimmerer, who is Indigenous, and she is also a woman in STEM and a professor of ecology, and so it combines her STEM background and her indigenous background, and she puts those two things together to open the reader's eyes to the beauty of the natural world. The way that she weds these two worlds is so impressive to me. Also, I listened to this on audiobook, and I highly, highly recommend the audiobook. Robin Wall Kimmerer reads it. I love when authors read their own audiobooks, but she also just has such a cozy, comforting voice and feel, and I swear, I think if you did tests on me, you would find that my overall anxiety that I have was lower during the 2 weeks I was listening to this book on my way to work. I just thought it was so beautiful, and the ideas that she poses about reciprocity and the way that we should treat the natural world versus the way that it has been treated was heartbreaking and so hopeful at the same time. I would put it on my favorite shelf, but I don't think I'm gonna be in possession of it for a very long time because I'm just gonna keep lending it out to everybody that I know. Just please read it. And then for the Share the Love Square, I read one of Annie's favorite books over at Annie's Little Free Library on Instagram. I'll link her in the description. She is genuinely my favorite book reviewer, and every time she reviews a book, I have to like prepare myself because every single time her words knock the wind out of me, and she's incredible. So I read Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro, and this book was so weird, but really good, but so strange. I don't know. I've really had to sit with it, and I still don't fully know my feelings on it. The concept is super interesting. So basically this book follows Clara, who is an artificial friend, which is basically like an AI robot friend. And so she goes to live with Josie. It sort of tracks Clara's relationship with Josie, but also Josie's relationship with all the people around her. It's about love and friendship and hope, and seeing all of those things through the lens of an AI is so interesting because it's hard to tell whether it's genuine or whether it's like manufactured. I would definitely recommend this book. I think the writing style is so interesting. I think the concept is so unique. I was turning pages so fast, I was nearly rocking through the pages. Let me tell you, there is a twist in this book. I had to go back and read the last 2 pages because I thought I misunderstood. I was like, hold on, that cannot be true. That can't be true. What? Oh, it's just, I don't need, go read Annie's review of it because it's incredibly eloquent and beautiful, and it'll make you want to read the book. And I don't know how to even come close. For a book whose main character and narrator is an artificial intelligence, it was so human, and I think that is so impressive. Next, for the Hot Girl Summer Prompt, which was to read a book written by a woman, I read Jane Against the World by Karen Blumenthal. This is a book that tracks reproductive justice and reproductive health care from the 1800s in America all the way through to 2019. So it doesn't quite go to the overturning of Roe v. Wade that recently happened. I learned so much reading this book. Like, there were so many things about abortion and reproductive health care that I never knew, and it dives into how much of it has been politicized. It's been weaponized against the Democratic Party. Whether you believe that political parties in the American government are working to help its citizens, I do not. It was a great look into how it has worked in this particular sect of justice and healthcare. I thought it was really well done. I do think it was pretty long. It did get a little bit in the weeds with some of the court aspect of it and the legalese of Roe v. Wade and everything. But overall, I think it's a super important text. I would definitely recommend it. I think it provided just a lot of perspective that with this recent overturning of Roe v. Wade is really necessary right now. And shout out to Stacks at Black Stacks for recommending it to me. Next, this is where I was really crunched for time, as you saw in the vlog, and I was like, I gotta finish 4 books in like 10 hours. Gulp. I Hate Men by Pauline Harmonge has yellow on the whole ass cover. I got to read this incredible little book, because this book, life-changing. I will be getting my own copy so that I can highlight every word of it. This book is all about misandry, which if you don't know is like the opposite of misogyny. It's like when women hate men or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
And it's just all about how misandry can be used as a way out for women, and how a distrust and hatred of men is actually a very valid and logical response to the ways in which we have been harmed, abused, and oppressed by men for generations and centuries. It was so good. It was so good. We have been given every reason to distrust and hate men, and that doesn't mean that you can't, on an individual scale, love a man. She's not even saying that you have to hate men as a systemic thing, but she's saying that women who do are valid, and that misandry, that hatred of men, that distrust of men can lead to solidarity and sisterhood and can show us ways out of patriarchal systems that oppress us. If you're a man watching this, I encourage you to read it, internalize it, think about it, and realize that when women say they hate men, they are also talking about you, even if you're one of the good ones. It's so good. Then I needed to read a book for Sandcastle, and so I reread The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. French people sound off in the comments. Was that better than the last time I had to pronounce it?
Antoine de Saint-Exupéry.
I just love it so much, and it means such a great deal to me. I had to pull it off my favorite shelf to read it, so obviously I love it very much, and I've read it many times since I first read it in 6th grade, and every single time it is held up. I just think it's such a beautiful sort of fable-esque story about what silly things we learn to care about as adults and how we lose some of the most important parts of ourselves when we lose touch with the child within us. You read it and you get this sense of timelessness and comfort and joy as you read it. But it also has a soft ache to it that just really resonates, I think, with anybody who has lived through anything that's been less than easy. It looks super skinny, but it's actually so heavy because it's full of magic and love that weighs so much and makes your heart feel really full. So read it. But the last book, this is the one I sort of cheated on because I read it in June and July with my Shakespeare book club over on my Patreon, but I counted it because I finished it in July, so it counts for Summer Splash. And I counted it for the easy breezy square because it's under 200 pages and it is Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. It's Shakespeare, so I loved it because I love my boy Willie. And Romeo and Juliet is one of my favorites. I think it's so fucking funny.
That doesn't make no sense.
It's his most famous tragedy, but like we talked so much in my book club about how until like Act 3, if you were watching it and you didn't have the chorus tell you in the beginning what was gonna happen, you could totally think it was a comedy. Like, it's so funny, and then it gets so dark. I just love it so much because I think it's such an interesting exploration of what happens when we deny young people agency. It dives so heavily into generational trauma and what sort of violent cycles continue when we don't address the trauma of past generations within ourselves. It's so good. I feel like I don't need to encourage you to read Romeo and Juliet because it's fucking Romeo and Juliet. But if you haven't read the original text, I definitely recommend it. It's incredible and amazing, and we had so much fun reading it together. Our next read for the Shakespeare Book Club is Much Ado About Nothing, which is one of my favorite of his comedies. If you're interested in reading along with us, go on over to my Patreon, link in the description, and sign up. Those are all the books I read. Let's see what challenges I did in the second half. One of my favorite challenges of the whole month was the Pen Pal Challenge, which is to write a letter to a friend. I love this because writing letters to friends is, besides reading, probably my favorite hobby. Like, I really do the most. I'm kind of extra about it, but I love it so much. And so I wrote letters to my Summer Splash besties that helped me do the readathon. The Play Pretend square was one I started to get really nervous about. I was excited about it when I made it, but when it came to actually doing it, I got nervous because I was like, who am I gonna pretend to be? And I decided to pretend to be Auden for a little bit. So I rode my bike until 20 seconds in, the tire blew. I tried. I also used Auden for my outfit of the day, and so while I was doing my Play Pretend, I like wore a little outfit I thought Auden would wear. And then for my Treat People with Kindness square, I took brownies in to my coworkers because they really helped me out this month. They deserve it, and we work a very stressful job. They're great, so I wanted to do something for them. For Pass the Aux, I made a playlist also based on Along for the Ride. I thought this one was really fun. I'll post it here and put a link in the description. The two main characters in Along for the Ride go on all these nighttime adventures together because neither of them can sleep. They're both insomniacs. So I made a playlist of songs that I thought they would sort of share with each other when they're on their adventures and driving from place to place in their town. And I created a playlist based on that, but also tried to capture sort of the tone and vibe of the book. It was so much fun, and I listened to it a lot. It's called Someday They'll Make a Martyr Out of Me. But anyway, That's Summer Splash, dude. It will not be the last readathon you see from me. I'm already planning a couple. So get excited, get stoked, hit subscribe and turn on bell notifications if you don't want to miss any readathon announcements. Like this video if you enjoyed it or if I read any of your favorite books. Tell me what your favorite Summer Splash reads or favorite Summer Splash prompts were, or give me ideas for future readathon prompts. All my socials are also in the description if you want to follow me on any of those. I'm starting a Bookstagram. I'll link it down below. If you want to follow my new Bookstagram account, hit me up over at Sally Stacked. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. In case you haven't heard it today, I love you. Bye.